Jennifer, would you mind grabbing my packet sitting on my desk? I'm so sorry. Jake, can I borrow your packet just a minute? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, thank you.
We're good.
Okay, thank you for joining us today for the 46th meeting of the Board of Lake County Commissioners. Would all those who are willing and able please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of our country. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Grant us, O Lord, light to our understanding, prudence in our investigating, foresight in our planning, sincerity in our deliberating, the grace to follow truth in our judgment. Help us to be moved in our decision, neither by fear nor by self-interest, and to do our work faithfully. May we respect the authority vested in us, for thou art the source of all authority. And may we use in our directives for the common good and for thy honor and glory. Amen. Thank you.
One item real quick, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
If you could turn the sound up a bit, that'd be great.
Okay.
If you can't, I can live with what you got. But
Okay, is this a little better? I'll speak more directly into the microphone. Is that better for you, sir?
that'd be great.
Thank you, sir. Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please. Thanks.
Commissioner Sereno.
Here.
Commissioner Young.
Here.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Here. Okay, public comments. Jason, do we have any public comments from the community?
Good morning, Commissioners. Yeah, we have a public comment submitted this morning by Ellen Chamberlain. Health Director Ron Graham and Commissioner Hammercheck were interviewed on IdeaStream. When asked about the high number of COVID-19 cases in Lake County, they simply listed how well things were going and being handled here. Is this because you don't know why the numbers are high, or because you don't want to be specific about bars, restaurants, football games, etc.? We, the citizens, are now being told to leave only our houses for emergencies. Why am I asked to quarantine myself because you cannot trace the behaviors that are making the numbers so high? Respectfully seeking an honest answer, Ellen Chamberlain. End of comment.
Alrighty then. Working backwards. Ellen, what we said on that interview was honest. It was fact-based. The use of the word quarantine, no, you're not being asked to quarantine unless you've been exposed to someone who has proven to be positive, so that's not what purple means. There is a standard that has been in place for limiting activities, and your specific wanting a point source, what we're encountering is the definition of community spread. That's why we're trying to have an increased awareness and increased personal responsibility. So wanting to dial it down to a specific facility, again, that's a point source, and that's a different category. So hopefully that answered your question as fully and completely as possible, and I can assure you that both then and now, the comments made by both Ron Graham and myself were in fact sincere and honest. So with that, Jason, is there any other public comments? And do we have anyone from the public? Okay, moving on. Madam Clerk, resolutions.
In the Engineer's Office, resolution awarding a bid contract to the Ohio Bridge Corporation DBA U.S. Bridge for the LAK Markel Road Bridge Project, PID number 102069, over the Chagrin River in Wade Hill Village, Ohio, in the amount of $1,276,719.75.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Second.
I have a question
Yes,
or comment.
under discussion, yes,
yes,
please.
I'm sorry, yes.
Quite all right, quite all right.
Apologize.
No, quite all right.
For the engineer, what is the expected lifespan of that? That's a pretty small bridge, as bridges go, right? It's the one down in the valley right over the river.
Right over the East Branch.
North of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long will that bridge likely?
Probably about 40 years.
Okay.
Bridges generally have a 40 to, depending on the type of construction, 40 to 50 year life expectancy, but some of them go a lot longer.
Okay.
A lot of it will depend on the amount of traffic it gets.
That bridge doesn't get, a huge amount of traffic.
No, it could last a very long time.
Yeah, okay.
That's also, while I'm on it, that's also the bridge that we're using, the credit bridge that we bought a few years ago for 50 cents on a dollar. In addition to that, Ohio Bridge has been around forever. Has now decided to go into the design-build business because in the past, what they've done is they built these things and give them a contractor, and they build most of the truss bridges in Ohio and surrounding states. As a result, this is their first step into the construction business, and we got an excellent bid. So between the credit bridge that we bought earlier and the low bid of about $300,000 below our estimate and 200 plus below the next bidder, we're probably going to build this bridge for almost nothing. So that was it's a very positive
Excellent.
situation.
Great, thank you.
Good use of the public funds. Well done. Further discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Young? Commissioner Young?
Ron, can you hear us?
Sorry, I got moved to mute. Yes, is the answer.
Thank you, sir.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution to advertise for bids for the LAK Madison Avenue, County Road 306 resurfacing project, PID number 112490, FAN E200 649, OPWC number DGX05, LCE project number 2019-022, for the Lake County Engineers Department, bid opening to be determined.
Move to adopt?
Second. And discussion. Jim?
Yeah, well, you can tell this is an engineering bridge. There's lots of numbers.
Poor Jennifer.
This is the Madison Avenue project where we have the failing wall. All the documents are in and have been in a little bit. The state has taken a little longer, and I have no idea why, to get this thing approved. It has just recently gone to Columbus, and what we're looking for here is to give me permission to go ahead and advertise as soon as we get to go, because it's important that we get this going this month in order to make it, get it open for the summer.
And you just hit the key point. This road is currently closed.
This road is closed.
And it's a safety issue with the way the road is subsiding and the
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we've had another about 8 to 10 inches of drop in the roadway in the last month or so.
Has the source been identified yet as to where all this water is coming from? Can you share
Yeah,
that
we're
with us?
still looking for it, and it's still there. So we're in the new construction. We have provisions to handle the water and redivert it, and so that we don't get the soil washing away.
Okay, so although we haven't been able to identify the source, we're going to work around and just deal with it as it occurs.
We've taken the Oldham approach. We can't find it, so we're going to handle it.
Gotcha. I'll avoid any community spread analogies then. Oh wait, I think I just made one. Thank you. Poor Jason's back like, gee, John. Sorry. Okay, if there's no further discussion, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes,
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
And the Utilities Department, resolution increasing and transferring appropriations in Lake County Department of Utilities, Water, Sewer, and Solid Waste operating funds.
Move to adopt?
second.
And discussion. Randy, anything you want to chime in, or it's pretty routine? Thank you, sir. Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes,
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations, transferring appropriations, and transferring cash within Lake County Department of Utilities Water Operating Fund and Project Fund 595, Tall Tree Booster Station Improvement Project 414W.
Move to adopt?
move to adopt.
I'll second it.
And discussion? None. Oh, Jason, or I'm sorry, Randy. Seeing lots of movement here in the room, so.
This is just transferring cash so we can award a contract hopefully next week through resolution. This was bid out about a month ago, so we're ready to, again, part of our 2020 capital improvement plan, and we continue to move forward with this.
Thank you, sir. Jason, did you want to add anything, or did that encapsulate what you wanted to say? Gotcha. Thank you, sir. Okay, if there's no further discussion, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution authorizing execution of a sanitary sewer billing service agreement between the Board of Lake County Commissioners and the City of Willoughby Hills for the Lake County Department of Utilities.
Move to adopt.
Second.
And discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution awarding a bid contract in the amount of $723,550 to Express Underground Incorporated for Deerfield Relief Sewer Phase 2 Improvement Project 366S.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution awarding a bid contract in the amount of $178,361.73 to Fabrizi Trucking and Paving for 7th Street Sanitary Sewer Project 416S.
Move to adopt.
I'll second that if that wasn't a second. Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In Job and Family Services Department, resolution approving Lake County Department of Job and Family Services vouchers, date of warrant December 11, 2020, in the amount of $73,749.21.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
In the Commissioner's Office, resolution reappointing the City of Eastlake Mayor Dennis Morley as a member of the Lake County Narcotics Executive Board for a 3-year term expiring December 31st, 2023.
Move to adopt.
Move to adopt.
I'll second.
Discussion? None being heard, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving the Lake County Recorder's Technology Fund proposal as submitted pursuant to Revised Code 317.321.
Move to adopt.
Second.
And discussion? Madam Recorder, I believe this is your resolution. Would you want to give us a few words and some background for our audience?
Would you like me to come up here?
Please, ma'am. Thank you.
This is my first time at this podium.
Yay.
Well, I appreciate definitely you guys doing all this for us. We worked on it for 1.5 years, and now it's come to fruition, and it's a good model. I prepared a little statement. It says, thank you for the Technology Fund resolution today. This is good, solid action to strengthen Recorder Department technology improvements and maintain a healthy and consistent technology fund balance in the interest of all Lake County. The yearly review has been an excellent review and will remain a timely check on fund activity and budget impact. And again, I'd just like to thank you for your consideration and your support through all of this.
Of course.
Just have a question, Mr. President.
Please go.
Madam Recorder, it might be for Jason because it's a kind of a budget question, but maybe you both can address it. So the funding is going to come from a combination of document fees as well as general fund contribution. Is that correct, Jason? Or Becky? I'm sorry.
Funding of the technology fund
Yeah.
comes from a per document fee.
Okay.
So
Solely.
solely, yes,
Okay, I
from
thought there was
per
something
document.
from
We get the funds in for each document filed.
Right.
And then that's generally $34.
Right.
It's split half and half between the state and the county. And then half of that county per document stays with the county, but then a $4, now $7 per document will come to be allocated internally to the Recorder Department Technology Fund.
Okay, got it.
Resulting in removing the burden from the general fund.
Right, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you.
But that's which
Teamwork.
is a good thing, which is a good thing.
Yes.
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 Great. Okay,
And
thank you.
while you're here for the record, so this is an action that was supported by the County Recorders Association of Ohio.
Yes.
And fully supported by the Ohio Legislature, which gives us the authority to be able to enact this resolution.
Yes.
Very good.
Very good.
And legal's approved to form, I think, is the famous saying. If I could look over to legal here.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Thank you. Is any further, Ron, did you have anything you wanted to ask our recorder while we have her at the podium?
No, I think I'm all set.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution appointing Suzanne Kazar Westerfield to the position of Director of Lake County Job and Family Services effective June 1st, 2021.
Move to adopt?
Second.
And discussion. Matt, I'm sure you, at least I hope you have something to say here.
I do, Commissioner. As you know, several months ago, I let the commissioners know that I planned on retiring in May of '21, and we've since then gone through the process of interviewing candidates for my replacement as the new director. Through that process, the commissioners had a chance to interview Suzanne along with Commissioner-elect Williger, and we all are of the same opinion that Suzanne will be an awesome Director of Job and Family Services coming in June of '21. She is well respected in the community, and her background and experience and her passion for the programs and services that we provide is unquestionable. So I fully endorse and
Excuse me, Mr. President, I'm afraid someone's not speaking into the microphone.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Sorry.
Excellent point of order. Thank you.
So I completely support and endorse Suzanne's appointment to the director position come June 1st.
Ron, did you hear the pertinent part there? Ron?
Hello?
Yeah, Ron,
Yeah,
did you hear that
yeah.
last bit?
I couldn't hear most of what was said, but I understand what's going on.
Yeah,
Go right ahead.
much of it was background. The last bit was the pertinent part of he fully endorses and supports this action.
Mr. President?
Sir.
If I may, for Matt. Matt, just for the benefit of people who might be watching our streaming this morning, the idea of overlapping Suzanne's initial time along before you retire for 6 months or so, right?
Yes.
Could you just maybe explain to the general public sort of, how that will be working, how you will be, not tripping over each other and yet at the same time facilitating the proper transition that we want to make sure happens well?
Yes, Commissioner. Suzanne has been an employee of Job and Family Services for 15 years. So she's familiar with the people, which is important, and with the different division administrators that I work with and are over those divisions. The first thing we're going to do, Suzanne is currently the Family and Children First Council Coordinator for the county. And so the first thing she and I will be doing is finding her replacement. And then probably beginning of January, Suzanne and I will be spending a lot of time together talking about the different community stakeholders, making sure that she becomes familiar with the different divisions and some of the technical issues regarding public assistance, child support enforcement, workforce, child and adult protective services in particular. So she's familiar and has worked at Job and Family Services for a long time, but it'll be more hands-on, sitting in on meetings that I am part of and becoming aware of a lot of volume of emails and how to respond to different situations.
But during this interim period, though, you will still be the main fiduciary and have all authority that you
Yes.
currently have.
Yes.
But just helping to make this transition, which should be rather straightforward given her experience.
It'll be a smooth transition, but I think it's smart that we have this opportunity to work together for 5 months or so.
Right.
So that when I leave May 31st, on June 1st, she hits the floor running.
Right, good. Okay, thank you very much.
And just as
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I'm really looking forward to this transition. Susanna joining us. You know, she has all the skills. She understands the processes. She knows the people. Matt and her work extraordinarily well together. So I think this is going to be a win-win for Lake County.
Excellent, well said, sir. Matt, just a quick point of clarification. The interview that Commissioner-elect Jason Williker did was separate and independent from the interview that this board did in our
Absolutely.
official capacity. I just want to be abundantly
Absolutely.
clear with that.
I should have clarified that.
That's fair. I just wanted to get that into the
It was separate
record.
from any formal proceedings.
Right.
Got it.
Out of respect for Commissioner-elect.
Yeah.
Indeed, yes, no, professional courtesy and most appropriate because they're going to get to work together, so yay. And Suzanne, anything you want to add, or are you good? Yes, there you go. You're most familiar with that, so. She's such a good sport.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you so much. I am so grateful for this opportunity. I'm so excited to be appointed as the next director of Lake County Department of Job and Family Services. Not only is this an organization that does really, really important work for the residents of our community, we also have a lot of great staff members who work very hard at Job and Family Services to get the necessary services and supports out to the community. So I am so grateful. I'm looking forward to continuing my work with our community partners and our community stakeholders, and also working much more closely with the Commissioner's Office. And again, I can't express my thanks enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Congratulations.
Okay, if there's no further discussion, Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes, thank you, congratulations.
In the
As I
fin-
always like to say, if you want to leave now, you can. Otherwise, you can sit through the whole meeting. There you go. Good choice. Sorry about that, Madam Clerk. She's giving me that look like, John?
In the Finance Department, resolution approving payment of bills as listed on the Commissioner's Approval Journal in the amount of $1,249,275.78.
Move to adopt?
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution approving purchase orders as listed on the Commissioner's Purchase Order Approval Journal in the amount of $709,141.74.
Move to adopt?
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution increasing appropriations for various non-general fund accounts.
Move to adopt?
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes.
Resolution transferring appropriations within various general and non-general fund accounts.
Move to adopt?
Second.
Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno.
Yes.
Commissioner Young.
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck.
Yes. Okay, this moves us to our departmental reports portion of our meeting, beginning with utilities. Randy, anything to add? Very good. Thank you, sir. Job and Family Services? Very good. Thank you, sir. County Administrator?
Thank you, Commissioners. First, I'd like to say congratulations and welcome to the team. Look forward to working with you. Getting rid of Matt. What? I'm just kidding. It's going to be a great
gonna take
transition.
5 months? Does
That's
it have to
right.
take
right.
that long?
So, yeah, officially welcome on board. Just a real brief budget update. Director Matus is busy with his pencil sharpener on the temporary budget. He anticipates having it in front of you Monday. The temporary budget, as you know, we will adopt prior to the end of the year. So you'll have that in your inboxes the first of the week, and Mike would like to consider the temporary budget, which is the first quarter of the year, on the 17th of December. Budgetarily right now, I guess the best way to put it is we're holding our own, which is a good thing. Sales tax is steady. Obviously, as the board knows, our investment earnings have taken a fairly decent sized hit. On the plus side, our fees and services in our development community has really kind of helped us maintain a good balance. Dave Strichko's shop is well above budget year to date. Talking with Dave and some of the local development community, we anticipate that trend to continue into 21 and possibly into 22. So,
Mr. President?
Sir.
Just have a question, Jason. So when COVID started and we anticipated back in June what we thought the budget was going to look like this year, the revenue was going to look like this year, and we went out to all the elected officials as well as internally to the commissioner's office, and we made some cuts on the basis on several assumptions on the fiscal side of things here, and as you just stated, we've done better than we expected and so on. What is going to be used, and I'm asking this sort of academically because I'm not going to be a part of next year's budget per se, but just out of curiosity, what will we be using as baseline
we're going
for next year's budget presumption?
We're going to maintain that baseline, is continuing that, which was a 5% cut, but 6 months into the year, which equated to about 10% budget reduction. I believe that's the number Michael is working on, Director Matus is working off right now to develop the baseline for 2021. Just not knowing, while we have a gut feel on the development community, as you know, Commissioner, the investment earnings are going to continue to stagnate at best. But at this point in time, we're going to use that as our baseline with not a future reduction in mind at this point in time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk.
Yes, I just wanted to mention that the next commissioners meeting is going to be next Thursday, December 10th at 10 a.m.
Thank you, ma'am. Legal.
No report, Commissioner.
Thank you, sir. Okay, this brings us to our old business portion of our meeting. Do we have any old business?
I do, Mr. President. Thank you. Just very briefly here, and I'm doing this under old business because this has been discussed before on a number of occasions. And, the COVID situation in Lake County has been, of tremendous discussion here. And, it's looking like there are some data points that are going in the right direction. Hopefully that will continue. But it's something that we obviously, from a health perspective in the community, have to take seriously. But I do want to make sure that we send the right message to our business community, because our business community, from the very beginning, has suffered tremendously. And we have to strike this very delicate balance between, what is in the best interest of the public health, certainly, and we have worked very closely with the health district in order to try to do that. But at the same time, we've been contacted. I think all three commissioners have been contacted by many, many businesses on a regular basis since this whole thing started. And we have. I just want everybody to know that we have spent a lot of time and effort in making it known to officials in Columbus that a shutdown of the entire economy is not something that should be an arrow in their quiver. That it would be a devastating blow to businesses and to employment and to so many families in Lake County and throughout Ohio. So we have to strike the right balance between making sure that we can get these numbers reversed in terms of positive cases and hospitalizations in Lake County and in Ohio. But we also, I want businesses to know that their commissioners, and I think I could speak for all of us, I hope, I'm sure I can, that we have been making our opinions known to people in Columbus, including the governor's office especially, that a shutdown of the economy is not a solution that should be considered. And I think that the plethora of input that they have received in the last month or so, as a shutdown was actually anticipated by many people, many businesses, that I think we actually influenced the decision process to go some different routes in trying to slow down the growth of positive cases in Lake County. And we want our businesses to know that we are looking out for them, and again, trying to strike this delicate balance between what's in the best interest of public health and also not pursuing solutions that really don't work and that would severely impact the economy, employment, and the financial health of so many families in our county. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. President, I'd like to add just a little something to that.
Yes, sir, please.
Although it was said so well and so perfectly, there's not much I can say. But we're trying to walk a very delicate balance here. And on the one hand, we tend to talk about public health, and on the other hand, we tend to talk about the economy. But it's all intermingled. If the economy isn't doing well, public health is immediately impacted. We're talking about people missing therapy sessions, violence within families, children, spouses, businesses shut down forever in many cases, which means what? The American dream gone from those families. That is a health issue in many ways. And in talking to our coroner, he has said over and over again that in a number of these categories, the death rate has gone up through this imposed isolation on some of our folks. So what I'm saying is that the economy and public health are intermingled. So it isn't as if we could just step out there and say, hey, we're shutting down the economy. And what does that do? That destroys people's lives in many cases for years to come. Years to come. So we're walking a fine line here, and we're, as Jerry mentioned, we're collaborating with Columbus. John's been heavily involved in that as well, John Hamerchuk. So a lot of work to be done, a lot to keep track of, and a lot of different facets to this problem. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Under the heading of old business, I would like to re-engage on the conversation of community spread. Very often when I'm trying to explain an unknown or an unfamiliar topic, I try to use an analogy to take us from the unfamiliar to the familiar. Our engineer gave me a good analogy. I must admit, it's not uncommon, as in the case of this road in the water that's causing erosion and failure. If you can't find the point source, you deal with it. That's what professionals do. And the discussion that we had, and particularly in this interview, and I'm honored to say that I've been working with Ron Graham from the beginning hours of the COVID-19 pandemic. He's been a pleasure to work with. We've been working on establishing solid and reliable lines of communication with our mayors and managers. Again, I have to give high praise to Dennis Morley. He's been an absolute pleasure to work with. Former Commissioner Judy Moran, expert at communications and getting the message out. She's been instrumental in communicating state information, Lake Health District communication information from this board to all of the civilian leadership here in the county. And that's been a two-way street. That dialogue and communication goes both ways. But the reason that I want to emphasize community spread and how important this is to understand that we're not talking about a point source. Simple things. Wearing a clean mask. As I said at our last meeting, wear things properly, change it or at least clean it as often as you change your underwear. I'm not trying to make a joke about that. Some of the things that people are doing are just, I don't know, I don't want to even call it a good faith, it's more of a haphazard effort. Wash your hands. Do things and be respectful of others. Ellen Chamberlain, she's a good, strong, loyal follower of this board and other government bodies. She's a fine, outstanding member of the League of Women Voters and very engaged in the community. We have to be careful about the words and the definitions, because if we strike fear into people, they tend to give up. And this is not something that we should be giving up on. We should be focusing on the practical things that we can control ourselves. Washing your hands frequently, that's something we can control. Basic hygiene, something we can control. And be respectful of others. Because at the end of the day, I believe the discussion that we had, and I can't recall the entire conversation in context, but I know we were talking about our hospital systems. Right now, they're hovering in the mid-60s to mid-70s as far as hospitalizations. Lake County has a population of, I believe, 234,000, And we've been doing overall in the state, hold on just a second. We've been doing overall good in the state as far as our communications and reliable working with the state. That doesn't mean that this is going to go away. As my colleague has pointed out, both my colleagues have pointed out, we need to be responsible in our actions, and it comes down to an individual basis. So we need to do our part. We need to make sure that our hospitals are not overwhelmed, and that our healthcare providers are there if we need them for more than just COVID. Normal sickness, delivery, choke that babies. We've got normal accidents. All of these things are compromised if our resources are tied up. And frankly, we have caregiver fatigue. Our first responders, fatigue. So we need to take this seriously, and if we can find a vehicle, a means of conveying something that's unfamiliar to familiar, we should embrace it, we should talk about it, and understand it, because fear comes from the unknown. And right now, there's a lot of confusion out there, and anything we can do to limit that, I think that's well done, and I again thank Ellen for her question and giving us the opportunity to go back and revisit that. So with that, if there's no other old business, moving on to new business. Do we have any new business?
No, sir.
Okay, and Jason, do we have any public comments indicating none? And I don't believe there's any takers in the audience, so with that, we do have a request for executive session for personnel and discipline. So there'll be no business to be conducted afterwards. So do we have a motion to adjourn as indicated?
So moved.
Second, I'll second that salute.
Thank you. Discussion? None being heard. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Sereno?
Yes.
Commissioner Young?
Yes.
Commissioner Hammercheck?
Yes, thank you.